Hello, everybody. This is Capitalist from JoinDota.com, and joining me today is going to be the famed support player Akke from Team Alliance. Akke, how are you doing today? How did you feel the games went yesterday?
I'm doing great. The games yesterday was very good. I feel we got the right draft and the right game plan to win the games, and I think the games today will be much harder, actually.
Yeah, you're going up against Team Empire first. We have the match between Cloud9 and Mouse Sports, but then you guys are immediately following that. Your thoughts on Team Empire? Do you guys have anything special planned for them, or what do you think their biggest strengths or weaknesses are?
I mean, Empire has been very, very strong for a long time, and they don't seem to not be strong anymore, like as well. So it will for sure be a very hard game, and we don't have anything special for them. But I guess we will just try to make sure they don't get their draft that they are comfy with. They like to run this Dazzle and Centaur and everything that they used to play. So I guess we'll see what we get.
So it seems like for most of the teams I was hanging out with, both Fnatic and some of you guys Alliance, you guys were talking about Empire a little bit. It seems like they're kind of the unknown team. I mean, they are from the CIS region. Obviously, you guys probably don't talk to them as much. How much is that really playing a factor when you don't really know as much about a team? Do you just focus on yourself so much, or you maybe do more research about a team?
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, players outside of the game and inside is two different things. When we play against Empire, I just think about how they play, not how they are in real life. So if someone plays like someone else, I can notice their playstyle anyway. So I guess it doesn't really matter, I would say.
So I talked to your team before. I had an interview earlier with EGM, not Akke, S4, as well as Loda, and I asked them what they felt your team's biggest strengths and weaknesses were, and it seemed like kind of fell back onto the laning phase, though that seemed like that was something you guys have been working on pretty extensively. You want to build on that at all?
Well, I would say the rotation early game, because the new patch, well, not new, I mean, this been new for a half a year now, but it's still pretty new for us. Like when we went to China, you can notice how active they are early game with a lot of smokes and everything, and I think it's a bit risky in a way, because if you don't get the smoke off and you don't get a kill, then you wasted maybe two supports just running around, but it seems to work out for most of the teams, and so we've been working on that a bit, and yeah, so our weakness is if we have a safe tri lane and we don't maybe do much, and the opponents rotate mid and they kill top, they push the tower and the stuff. But it's also about the draft, that sometimes we have a pretty defensive draft, so we can't really do that, and we can't take the tower because they have a good anti-push and everything. So it's a combination of rotation, early game, and the draft.
So talking about the draft, going into the meta, I asked Loda this question. He said that to describe the meta, he said it was all about the big tanky heroes with crucial ultimates. So Doom, Brewmaster, maybe even throwing a Centaur. Do you agree with that? How would you describe the meta in your own way?
I would agree with Loda, definitely. It's what we've been talking about, and I guess we all agree on that, I guess.
Okay, so what about underutilized heroes? Loda chose Troll Warlord. Do you have your own, maybe a support hero that you'd like to be playing a little bit more often that you feel is a little underutilized?
Skywrath Mage.
Okay.
I love him. Yeah, it's a guy, right? Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think his silence is really awesome against Panda. If he blinks in, then you can actually silence him before he gets his ulti off and everything. So, and the ultimate, if you have another hero that always can set up for it, then it's one of the best ultis there is in the game. So, but I guess his weakness is that it's pretty weak as a hero, and if they get 4-staff and BKBs, then he doesn't do anything at all. That goes for most of the support heroes. So I really like him. I think we might play him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something that Loda mentioned. You guys were watching Fnatic and the way they ran Skywrath Mage, and said that was a really effective use of the hero, and the silence was especially. Are there any other heroes? Loda was talking about silences in general. How do you feel the best ways to counter these sort of what we've been seeing, like this tri-tank lineup? It seems like all three cores are tanky heroes. You just can't kill them. What would be your best way, if you had your way of drafting, how would you say the best way is to try and counter that kind of meta?
I'm not really sure. We've been talking about it, and I guess I just like KotL to play as a hero, and he might not be as good like to kill the big heroes because they are really tanky, but most of the teams, when they have these tanky heroes, they go for a push on the lane, and because they have the tanky heroes, they can take a team fight with the panda and the center and everything. So if you play a KotL and you have a good position to anti-push the lane, then you can delay them so you can split push on the other lanes and make sure that you secure the late game or mid game by that. So I think KotL could be a way to counter it.
So just as long as you ban away that obnoxious Treant protector that's been so... Okay, so we'll get away from Dota now. Earlier interview with your guys, they said we had a little game, Marry, Fuck, Kill. I'm sure you heard of it. So does it come to a surprise to you at all that you were the one that everybody wanted to fuck?
I heard that. I'm a bit surprised, but still I'm not.
Modest and yet not modest at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, we'll play our own game here. So knowing that everybody wanted to fuck you, we'll change this up slightly. We'll do marry, fuck, kill, and kick. So one of your teammates you have to kick from the team, and one of them you have to kill. And then marry and fuck.
Well, I would say marry Loda, of course. We've been playing for 10 years now, so it makes sense.
It's a relationship that rivals Boomy's, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. She's very sad every time I go to an event without her and Loda is there, so it's like you can't share a room with him and everything. No, but okay, so I would marry Loda and...
Are you trying to think of who to fuck right now?
Yeah, I'm like, it will be wrong. Doesn't matter who I say. I would say fuck S4, kill Bulldog and kick EGM.
Are you only kicking EGM because that's the lesser of killing?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, Akke, thanks so much for taking the time. We'll give you a chance for sponsor shout-outs, and then we'll follow that up with actual human shout-outs.
Shout out to our sponsors HyperX, Monster, XMG, PlanetSide, Logitech, and Axe.
And then real people shout-outs.
Yeah, and shout out to my family, my friends, my girlfriend, Boomy, all the fans watching. Yeah, and just everyone that loves Dota and keep on watching and supporting us. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the time, having this interview with us. And guys, of course, more interviews coming up. JoinDota.com.